Game Changers, and my guest tonight is Lynne Stewart, who I love so much. And so, Lynne, we're not talking about you yet.
That's fine.
We have to talk because we have to.
I have my water. Yeah, I have my peanuts. I have my candy. You just talk as much as you want.
All right. So before we get to Lynne, I just wanted to. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Christina, would you do me a favor? Mm-hmm. Christina Guzman's back there, and you people don't know Christina.
So
Christina, I wish you'd come in. Come here. Say hello. Say hello. Come here. She's gonna hate us for this. Come right.
Beautiful.
This is Christina Guzman. Yay! Would you grab my book from the top of the table there? Yeah. Because I have to tell this story. Okay. I don't know, Lynne. Okay. Wait. This is not one with that. So. You heard a lot of my book, Coming to Women Who Rise.
Yes, I did. I loved it.
Thank you. I'm putting you on the spot, but you heard a lot of my book. So
I don't know. I'd be like,
you're like the best audience. Whenever I've read anything, Lynne's always there, like so empathetically. She cries for me. She feels my pain. She smiles with me. Okay, but I think that the original. Okay, my book, Don't Jump: Sex, Drugs, Rock and Roll, My Fucking Mother, was originally called Why is Julia Roberts Living My Life? And did you ever hear any of that stuff about Julia Roberts that I talk about in the book?
No.
Okay, so Julia Roberts is a featured character in my book, and it was always kind of my dream that Julia Roberts would play me wanting to be her.
I love that.
Right? It's genius. So I got to know Eliza Roberts and Eric Roberts, Julia's brother and sister-in-law. And Eliza and I were in that movie together, Henry Jacqueline's The N-Word. And so a few years ago, right before my book came out, I was on Eliza and Eric's radio show. And Eliza read the prologue out loud on the air. And in it, it says, Why is Julia Roberts Living My Life? And I thought, Eliza's going to tell Julia. And no. So now, no, not a word. So meanwhile, I have waited. I started writing this book in 2002. So we're talking a long time ago, Lynne. It's 16 years. You're being a very good listener.
Well, I love the book and I love the story. And
all right. So anyway, I have waited for 16 years to meet Julia Roberts to tell her this story. So last week, I got to go to a screening. Julia was screening Homecoming, her new Netflix series, and I couldn't get to her at the end. They took her away. I didn't get to her, and I was like, oh shit, I had my one chance. I mean, I was so excited, and my tickets went away, and then I got them back, and then it was a whole big drama. No, didn't get my chance. I get an invitation for her movie that's called Ben is Back. 2 days later, I go again, and this time,
you made it.
Nose to nose with Julia, looking me right in the eye. I'm holding my book and I'm going, Julia, my book was originally called, blah, blah, blah. And she looks at me like I murdered her dog. And I don't think I went to give it to her. I was standing this close to Julia Roberts, babbling some gibberish, did not give her my book. All right, so
I hope this has a happy ending. So far, that's very sad.
That's the end of that story.
Okay.
Isn't that really sad? Julia, you should play me wanting to be you, right? It would be brilliant. Okay, anyway, it didn't happen, but I have been going to a shit ton of screenings. But before I get to the screenings, I just want to give a shout out. You know about Rick Smolke because you've been coming to Women Who Write for a long time. And remember in the old days when I used to give out calendars and pads and tissue boxes? Remember that?
I have the tissue box.
Yeah, you have. And this is all from Rick Smolke, Quick Impressions in Chicago. He makes all my stuff. He is so fabulous. My fabulous bookmarks, my fabulous cards. And they're two-sided. They're so wonderful. And Lynne, if you need anything, if you need business cards, if you need anything done, Rick will love to do it for you. Because he loves artists, he loves everybody. He's good to everybody. So anyway, Rick is my angel.
You're not done.
No,
okay.
What?
I have something I want to say.
Say.
Will you tell the story of Samantha from your book singing I'm Not That Innocent? And what you said.
You're not that innocent, you're 3! Yeah. So, and by the way, I have a...
She was singing that around the house.
And
she said, how innocent, could she be? Or not innocent could she be? She's 3.
So, since you brought up Samantha, I have a story for you.
Yeah.
She has mono. We found out 2 days ago.
Oh.
So
She liked us on Facebook. I mean, that we wanted to do this.
She did?
Yeah, I
Tonight?
saw it. Yeah,
Hi,
yeah,
Samantha!
Hi, Samantha. I love you. You're so super, super talented. I'm your real mother. Garry.
That would make her so happy. She loves you. So this is really horrible. So okay. So Samantha has a tendency to, I'm the mom. I have a headache. My stomach hurts. And this is from my mom. I just said headache. I've always called it a headache. Not headache, a headache. It's a headache. So anyway, so Samantha, whenever I have a headache, my stomach hurts, my this hurts. So last week she's saying to me, my throat hurts. I'm like, yeah. Go to work, go to school, do your thing, right? And I'm not giving. My throat hurts so bad. It feels like it's closing up. I think I have to anyway, just go to sleep. She goes to the doctor the next day. They tell her she has tonsillitis. They give her penicillin.
And what a horrible mother. Is
And
that the point of the story?
And I'm a horrible...
You didn't meet Julia Roberts, and you're a horrible mother.
It gets worse.
Okay.
Not only am I a horrible mother because now she has tonsillitis, then it turns out it's mono.
Oh.
Okay, so now she wants her mommy. Of course, she's in New York. I'm here. So the next best thing, Grandma's there. Grandma's afraid for her to come over because, my mother doesn't want to get sick. I understand. Yeah. But we're trying to explain. It's the kissing disease. You can only get mono from saliva. You cannot, it's not airborne. So the doctor had said to her, you can go back to school anytime you feel up to it. But meanwhile,
just don't kiss people.
Don't kiss people and don't smoke joints with people. Don't drink drinks with people. Don't be doing those things anyway. So
where's our camera? Where's my camera? Where's the fog filter? Is that the camera or is that the camera? Okay.
So meanwhile, so then my very wise therapist, because of course there's a therapist, there's a life coach, there's a sponsor, there's a whole thing. My therapist says, have your mother call her doctor and know that it's safe. So my mother calls her doctor and the doctor says, yes, it's safe. So Samantha's been with Grandma Honey for the last 2 days. And Grandma Honey's taking such good care of her. But
what do you think? Thank you, Grandma Honey.
Thank you, Grandma Honey.
You're a honey. And you know what? You're gorgeous. I've seen the pictures on Facebook.
She is. She's gorgeous. Yeah. So meanwhile, I'm a terrible mother. I was thinking that Samantha
adores her daughter. She goes to wave at her daughter at school and they catches her playing bad.
So I feel really guilty and a terrible mother. And meanwhile, I've heard all these stories. Mono is the college disease. People get it in college. And that's the other thing my therapist said. She doesn't know if anybody over 30 that's ever gotten mono. It's like a kid's, it's the college disease. But I spoke to a bunch of my friends. Zoe had it when she was in college. 2 months she was sick. My friend Emmy only 10 days. So they told Samantha today that they think she's on the recovering side after a week. So, because God forbid, kids have to drop out of school and miss a whole semester. But no, not my girl. That's not going to happen. Anyway, so that's my Samantha story. So going to all the, so Nicole Venables, my hairdresser, did you see what the name of her hairspray is? Fuck Off. That's Nicole Venables. Gotta love her. Ruby Begonia Salon. And I was supposed to go on Monday. And do you know why I'm not going? Oh, so last night, I was supposed to take Candy Clark, your co-star in American Graffiti.
My co-star. I had one scene and she was the lead. And she was up for an Academy Award.
I was just being nice. Candy, I love you. Okay, so I was going to take Candy. I invited you. I was going to take Candy to see Black Klansman, the Spike Lee film, because she invited me the night that she was on this show. She invited me to go with her, but she gets to go with the Academy people, and Spike was going to be there and the whole reception and everything, but we couldn't go. We had to do the show. So then I invited her to go to a SAG screening last night where Adam Driver and Topher Grace and do you know that Denzel Washington's son is the star of it?
No.
His name is John Michael.
Is he gorgeous like his daddy?
He doesn't look anything like Denzel, but he is gorgeous. And
okay.
He's not only gorgeous, he is a fantastic actor.
Okay.
Fabulous. John Michael Washington. Fabulous. And the real guy that the story is about was there. It was amazing. But anyway, Candy didn't go. She got sick. I hope you feel better, Candy. And so the point of this story was, so last night I saw Topher Grace. I got an invitation yesterday afternoon to go today to see Harrison Ford do a career retrospective Okay, are you kidding me? Now, did you ever see the
You know,
movie?
he looks like Moses now.
And so you better
No,
listen to him.
Don't say he looks like David Letterman. Don't. He
No,
has a-
no.
Oh, okay.
But I saw him on Facebook, and
He's
looked,
on Facebook.
Well, he was giving a talk,
Oh.
and he looked like Moses. So
Why?
Well,
How was
I guess
Moses-y?
he has
White
gray
hair?
hair, and he had a beard. But he could have cleaned up, for the show. But he looked
shave
so
Harrison.
handsome. He looked really handsome,
Yeah.
even though he looked like.
But I mean, like
Moses.
David Letterman. No, come on, that's just wrong. What he's
Yeah.
done. He was so cute.
Yeah.
So
But he could be cute again.
yeah, he just has to. He has to do
Clean
that.
up a little.
He has to clean up a little. So the thing was, one of my favorite movies, and you didn't say hi to Harry yet, Lynn. You're gonna make him feel like you don't love him
Your
as
baby?
much. My baby.
Who was named after Harrison Ford?
Who is named after Harrison Ford?
Okay. Hi, Harry, sweetheart. Facebook friend. I'm Facebook friends with both her kids.
So Harry,
And her ex-husband, too, who's crazy about me.
So listen to this. So I get a thing last week, and it says on Hinge, which is a dating app, and it says, Gabe and Vicki, we think you should meet. You're 100% compatible.
Oh my God! That's like the song. It's like, do you like pina coladas and
Yeah.
walks on the beach?
Yeah.
Well, it ends up
Yeah.
that it's the same story.
It is.
Yeah,
It's somebody that knew each other.
Yeah, that they feel like, do you love pina
Yeah.
colada?
Yeah. I don't know this.
Yeah. And walks on the beach.
Yeah.
And they end up together. And there was a husband and wife who were starting to, go their separate ways. But
Don't
that's
get
the
any
story.
ideas,
That's
kids.
the
It's
story.
not happening in this story. No,
of
Gabe
my
is
pina
fabulous,
colada.
but it said that we should meet each other, and so
I
that
love
was
that. You should
hysterical.
get that song. And
Well, maybe not. I love you, Gabe, but maybe not. We had a good run. 20 years, good run.
That's a good.
Excellent run.
And he's a great daddy.
And he's a great dad. He's a great dad. So, where was I going with this? Okay, so one of our favorite movies that the kids and I always watch is called In Good Company, and it's Topher Grace and Harrison Ford. It's if you haven't seen it, a fabulous movie. So last night I see Topher Grace, and I get this invitation to see Harrison today. Now normally on Wednesdays I don't do anything because it's show day, but it was at 11 o'clock in the morning. I thought I have to go. You're a co-star from American
yes,
Graffiti.
yes.
I have to go. And they canceled it. But, okay, so this gets me to Lynn. So finally, I know you guys, I've been like talking this whole show and like, what did I bring her here for? So that I could talk about myself for an hour and a half. So Lynn.
But I'm interested in these people and these stories.
Well, okay.
So I'm interviewing you.
All right, but
what happened?
So you're going to get to tell all the stories now. So Lynn, with Richard Dreyfuss, born on my birthday, October 29th. I was born on his, actually. So here they are, but look at this. Wait, that's not the one here. She is in American Graffiti again. But wait, look at her giving the finger. Lynn's
Flipping the bird.
flipping the bird. And it's only, tell the story, that what the deal is with this.
Oh, well, I asked George Lucas at the end of my scene with Richard Dreyfuss if I could flip the bird. And he said, sure, why not? Go ahead. And I did it, and then I because I signed with Candy and Bo Hopkins.
Yes.
And then we got
But
Richard Dreyfuss.
explain what that means, what signing means.
We go to like car shows, and there's a whole cult of people who love cars and love American Graffiti. And every year, Candy Clark and I and Bo Hopkins and whoever they get.
And Cindy was just at the most recent one,
Cindy
right?
was at the most recent one,
Cindy
but Cindy's
Williams.
usually doing theater. So we go to Petaluma, and Candy is like the mayor of Petaluma. They love her so much. She comes every year. She has. We're friends with the people,
Aww.
and she's like, oh, I heard you got a new car, I can do Candy. I can do from the middle. I really had a good time. I got to see you throw up. Anyway, they worship her in Petaluma. I mean, she really could run for office and win there. And so, what was the point of this story?
About, I don't know.
Well, anyway, we
Oh,
go
you
to
go
signings.
to signings.
We go to signings, and every year there's a group of us that goes to
Oh no, that
Canada.
was what the story was that the picture has you flipping, one
Oh.
picture has you flipping the bird, and some versions of the movie do and don't, right?
Right.
And sometimes you show the picture and sometimes.
Yes, I don't. If there's kids, I sometimes, put the picture.
She doesn't-
I'm not a good signer.
She doesn't want them to see this.
I'm not a good signer because I give away too many pictures.
Oh.
If somebody is in the military, here you go.
You don't make them pay for it.
No. And if somebody is like mentally handicapped, they get a free picture too. And so one guy said, "Why are you giving me the picture?" And I thought, oh, because you're just so much fun. He was smart.
Yeah.
Why am I giving him the picture?
Oh.
But then
Yeah.
I smiled at him
Yeah.
and kind of stalked him around a little bit, and then we became friends. And he was so happy to get my picture at the end of the story, but I almost got caught there. And and another thing I do, if a little girl comes up and she wants a Miss Yvonne picture, and her parents
Like this.
don't want to buy a picture, I say, guess what? You're my 50th customer.
Aw.
You get a free picture.
Wait, where's the
and the
other one?
parents can't say anything because I've given her.
Oh, you're so
I
sweet.
said,
Here, Miss Yvonne.
You're my 50th customer. You get a free picture.
you're
So
so-
you can imagine how well I do.
So you make like $3. And then here's Lynn and Always Sunny in Philadelphia. We're gonna get to all with Danny DeVito. We're gonna get to all of these stories.
Okay.
Oh, we're not gonna get to them yet because you look at all the love you get. Look at the love you're getting. Look at the love you're getting.
My Facebook friends, I love you.
Everybody
Support me every show that I do.
Look, Penny
I'm a little
Barrett.
nervous about this show.
Penny
We
Barnett.
love you.
I didn't
And
say Penny Barrett. Penny Barnett. Peg Burr. Who else is here with us? Tim Floyd.
Oh,
He was
Tim
talking-
Floyd!
Oh.
Tim Floyd came to the show, the American Graffiti show.
Samantha. Hi, I love you, Samantha. Sing.
Oh,
Oh my God. Hi, Mom.
How do
Hi,
you
Mom,
feel?
and other Mom.
Oh, how do you feel? I don't have to talk
There's
like
Nick
that.
Guzman. Nick is on here
Oh
too.
my
Hi,
God.
Nick. That's Christina's. Except this is really your mom, Nick. So you and Samantha can never get together because you're actually siblings. Linda Apsey. Hi,
Oh my
Sheila
God.
Riddle. John. Hi, John. John Green. Eddie. Sheila.
Oh
Okay.
my
All right.
God.
So we're saying hi to everybody. Okay. So. So wait, what
They're
story?
here.
They're here. They love you. So what story were you telling? Because I don't remember.
Oh, I was telling you a story about signing and about how I don't make a lot of money.
So
signing.
send Lynn money.
Yes, I don't.
Except you're always working. Oh, so some of the things. All right. So before we go through the list of things you've done, let's start at the beginning because I don't even know this. I know about your mama.
Yes.
And I know how much you absolutely loved your mama.
Oh,
Like
yes,
nobody's
yes, I did.
business. And she was amazing. And I've seen many videos and pictures of you guys singing and you singing to her and she looked like she had a great sense of humor. Did your mother have a good sense of humor?
Yes, she did. And what was so wonderful is it happened like, later in
Really?
life. Because I would dress her up like Mae West, and she I would give her lines to say like lower and slower. And it's not the life in my men, it's not the life in my men, it's the men in my, not the men in my life, it's the life in my men. My mother and I both got those things confused.
Okay, so now
we had a lot of
now,
fun
did
doing.
she know what she was saying when you were giving her these lines?
Yes, she did. She did.
She was,
And I'll tell you a story about my mom.
yeah, tell me.
Well, she had like dementia near the end, but she kind of got that she had dementia.
She did.
And she would say things like, there's a picture at my sister's house of John Wayne, and she said, last night John Wayne came down from the picture and had sex with me. And I said, well, Mom, that's really a coup. I said, most guys don't find a catheter and diapers sexy. Which she laughed so hard. She got it. That's what I
She
thought.
did.
Oh, yes. She got it. She always got the joke.
Wow. So now when you were little, you have a sister.
Gail.
Gail. So now, hi Gail. So now when you were little, was your mother funny then?
She was kind of funny, but she was more, she was funny, but she wasn't like, we're here all week, folks, you know. She would laugh at all my jokes, and I remember hearing Ellen.
What did she do?
She was mostly a mom, but she was like a terrific mom. She was a brownie leader, a Girl Scout leader, neighborhood chairman. Big shout out to her troop, which I know is watching. You know, Julie Cobb, Leslie, Milner.
So now, so she was a mom. She was a great mom, and she got the stuff. But she wasn't particularly funny herself back then. Was your father funny?
He was kind of funny. Most of them were like appreciative.
Okay.
You know, but I grew up. You know,
What was funny? Where'd you get the funny from?
I don't know.
Because you were probably always funny, I'm thinking.
I was kind of funny, but I was kind of weird. Well, not that I'm not weird now, but I was a weird little girl. I stared a lot, you know. And we lived in Norwalk, and then we went to Beverly Hills.
Why did you guys move to Beverly Hills?
Well, my dad he was a lawyer. He worked in Beverly Hills.
Your dad was a lawyer.
Yeah, and I thought something horrible happened because we had a house in Norwalk, and we lived on Arnaz in Beverly Hills, which a bunch of apartments. You know, it's not the really great section of Beverly Hills.
But you went to Beverly Hills High. Right?
I went to Beverly Hills High and Horace Mann Grammar School, but it was called like Divorce Street because most of the women were divorced on
because they were in apartments.
Yeah, and they were on an apartment, but it was a fun street. We got to stay out really late and play hide and go to seek.
And who did you go to grammar school with, Lynne?
I went with Richard Dreyfuss.
With Richard?
Ricky Dreyfuss then, but now he's Richard Dreyfuss. Yeah.
And so how did it work out that you guys were both in American Graffiti? Did you do other... All right, so when you were little kids, were you in plays together?
Oh, that's a really great question. We had this was in high school. We had a wonderful teacher named Rose Jane Landau.
It makes me crazy that you remember all of this. This is amazing.
Well, she was an improv teacher,
and
at Roxbury Park, and so we would go. We just walk over from high school to the park. And she taught us improv, and you know, I can understand where actors, and sometimes really great actors that just haven't been exposed to improv,
right?
You know, they're scared of it.
Yes,
they're really, really scared of it, and I can understand that. But it's one of those things that I'm not, because I was raised in it.
Okay, so how were you raised? Like, how did that start for you?
It started with Rose Jane Landau. I mean, where we would do scenes. It's an improv, and Richard Dreyfuss was in the class.
Okay, before you got to improv, did you do plays first?
Yes, like a camp.
When did you realize I want to be an actor? Like, I want to be. This is what I want to do.
In grammar school.
Okay, so what sparked that for you?
Well, I was coming from Norwalk to Beverly Hills. It was a really, really. What is this anxiety?
Culture shock? What?
Because we made like peanut butter, and we visited.
Wait, what?
In school in Norwalk. Okay. We didn't like do things like spell, read, math. We would like visit firemen, and then we would make peanut butter and radishes. You know, we grew radishes. You know, we had little things like that. The teacher, oh my God, they were so delicious. Homegrown in classroom radishes. There's nothing like that. And then I moved to Beverly Hills, and I was so behind. Even though they put me back, I was still behind after being. That's how far advanced Beverly Hills Grammar School was.
Wow.
But there was a wonderful woman named Mrs. Sevenens who would come around, and we would read, and we would like read poetry and stuff like that. And she said, someday you're going to be an actress, because I wasn't very good in school, but I could go like in Flanders Field the poppies grow. You know? And she thought that was just wonderful.
It's wonderful.
And then I did a play, Nothing to Be Thankful For, where I played a teenage girl, you know, who had a sore throat, like Sam.
Call back.
Yes, and I remember like talking on the phone, you know, and saying, I can't come to the party because I have a sore throat. And my dad came. He left work to see nothing to be thankful for. So and my mom. And so I did
and
that.
And Ricky Dreyfuss, was he in any of those early plays with you?
He was like in like the 8th grade. He and Julie Cobb, who were a couple later on. They did plays in the 8th grade.
So he was older than you.
No.
Were you in the same
I
grade?
just wasn't in the 8th grade play.
Okay.
But Julie and I and Ricky, we would do. I'm sorry, he doesn't like to be called Ricky. Richard and I would do little class plays and scenes and stuff like that. And I did a play where I played Christmas Joy, which was very similar character to Miss Yvonne. I was the hostess of Christmas. And
That is so fitting for you.
Yes, I introduced Myron Steinberg, who later changed his name to Mike Martyr. Myron Steinberg, who played Santa, to the spirits of Christmas from other lands, you know. And I got to flutter, and I got to bring them in, and I was just so excited. My body changed temperatures. I was just so in love with being Christmas Joy. And I said, this is what I want to do. And then I got to do it as Miss Yvonne. I was the hostess of the
Yes, you
playhouse,
were.
just like Christmas Joy. So I had a
Okay, so
sorry,
all right.
what?
No, you tell your. Go tell that one.
The one of the great things about growing up in Beverly Hills, there's many, but this is one of them, is that nobody makes fun of you because you want to be in the arts. Because everybody's mother or dad, not everybody, but a lot of mothers and dads were making millions of
Okay, so were there
dollars.
other kids in your class who either were famous themselves or came from famous parents?
Right.
Like who?
Right. Well, we had Julie Cobb, who was my best friend in grammar school, whose dad was Lee J. Cobb.
Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Wow.
Death of a Salesman, the original.
Wow.
Oh, Shiver Blisters. And then we had Melinda Cummings, Robert Cummings' daughter, that was in high school. And Albert Brooks, who was Al Einstein. You know,
he went to school with
he
you?
went to high school.
Wow.
And Larry Bishop's son was in our
Wait,
school.
Larry Bishop.
Oh, sorry, Larry Bishop, Joey Bishop.
Bishop's son. I was going to say, I know Joey Bishop. Wow.
Larry Bishop, who's a wonderful,
Was
and is a wonderful
Was
actor.
Albert hysterical when you were in school?
I didn't know him that well, but he was one of, he did Midsummer Night's Dreams and was one of the rustics.
Was Rob Reiner in your class?
No, he was ahead.
Okay,
but he was friends with Richard Dreyfuss.
Okay, because I was going to say, when I met Carl Reiner and I asked him who the funniest person he ever met in his life was, he goes, I met him at Phil's, and he said, if I have to think about the funniest person I've ever met, it would be a young boy that was friends with my son. And he was talking about Albert Brooks, and he told me, and he acted out this entire story. Albert hid behind the drapes in the house, and he came out and did this thing, and Carl had props that he was using to show me this whole thing, but Carl said Albert was the funniest person he had ever, and this is somebody whose best friend is Mel Brooks, and he's saying that Albert was the funniest person he ever met. I mean, wow, Albert must.
Yes,
you know,
yes, he was.
God.
I mean, just his little scene is one of the rustics. He did Jack Benny as a rustic, you know, and then Mr. Engel let him get away with it because the house was just, you know, hysterical.
Wow, so you did have quite a class.
We did.
Okay.
We did.
Okay, so now you're in high school and you start doing improv, and Ricky Dreyfuss doing improv with you.
We have to change it to Richard.
Well, he's not going to watch. But meanwhile, I got to meet Richard at SAG about 3 years ago, and I got to tell him we have the same birthday, and I wrote an article that ended up in Huffington Post about him when he was doing Bernie Madoff. So we have 2 degrees. We have 1 degree of everything. Okay, so you're doing improv. How much later is the grant? Like, what happened? What's the first foray into professional? What happens after high school?
After high school, I went to LA City College, and that's where I met Cindy Williams.
And are you guys friends immediately?
We were. I mean, I remember her. She hates when I tell the story.
Oh, good.
She
Let's
was
tell it.
passing on paper, and she had a little polka dot dress on and little polka dot bloomers. And I looked at her and
Bloomers?
I know it was a time of bloomers. And it was really cute. And I went, oh, she's so cute. I wish she was my best friend. And then she became my best friend.
Wow.
That's my Cindy Williams face when she hears that story.
Why? Why does that
Just shut up.
Why does that story make her mad?
Well, because I told it so many times. She doesn't want to hear it anymore. But she was, and this is the same thing, and I'd like to say this about Richard Dreyfuss and Cindy Williams. I knew that they were going to be stars.
How the hell did you all end up in American Graffiti together? How did that? All right, wait. Before we get to American Graffiti, so what's the
Well,
first?
I my invitation of Ricky walking home from school with me. And there was a guy, Mike Burns, who got a part when we were like kids.
Yeah.
And
Got a part in what? In something?
like a TV show.
Okay.
You know, maybe it was he did Sally Field's show.
Gidget?
Yeah,
Wow.
The guy, I think by Burns
Moondog?
did it.
No.
No,
No.
this was a TV show.
Right.
I think.
Moondog.
Mike Burns.
Okay.
But he was working. He
But
started
there was
working.
a Moondoggy and Gidget, wasn't there?
Oh, in the movie, yes.
Well, isn't in the TV show she had a Moondoggy, didn't she?
She might have.
I think she did.
Yeah.
All right, maybe
But
not.
it wasn't Mike Burns.
But
Mike
no,
Burns
okay.
was the other guest.
Okay.
So if he was even on the show, but he worked a lot.
Okay.
And Ricky, walking home with him.
Yeah.
This is one of those things. I think it's called prophetic.
Prophetic. Yes.
Prophetic.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I remember him even carrying some of my books. Oh,
Richard Dreyfuss
yes,
carried
yes.
your books.
And we
Oh
were
my
walking
God.
home, and
I have to hit a love for that.
Okay.
I love that.
and he said we were talking about Mike Burns, and he went, "I can do that. I can do that."
What does that mean?
It means he could do what Mike Burns could do.
Oh, he was competitive already.
Yes, and I turned to him. I'm just like, ugh. And I said, "You will, Ricky. You will." And also in my mind was, I will remember this the rest of my life.
Okay, now wait a minute. Did you say that to placate him, or did you say it because you knew?
I said it because I knew. No, I'd seen him do little sketches and stuff in school, and I knew he was amazing. Everybody loved him.
Okay.
And the same thing about Cindy. I mean, she would just get on stage and command it.
Okay, so when you guys were in college, did you do theater in college?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
And were you and Cindy on stage together? Did you do stuff together?
Yes. Cindy and I had an assignment where we were supposed to do a pantomime, and we did pantomime. Somebody sitting in the middle of us in a movie theater, and both of us were like, flirting with him and offering him stuff like that. And we got to be, I think it's called TA4, and it was like that was a special show that when you had a good scene, you get to go on TA4. And
that was a level or something?
Yeah, yeah. And
okay.
then I was walking out of TA4, and there were two guys in back of us, and one of them said, he said, I really love that Cindy Williams. And he said, and the other guy said, I kind of like that little redhead. and I was the only time I was jealous of myself because I had just dyed my hair bright red. I didn't know he was talking about me. He said, what little redhead? What little redhead? Ooh. And it was me. So I'm not a jealous person, but I was jealous of myself that one time.
Okay, that's my favorite story of the day. Jealous of myself. Okay, I love that. Okay, so you did stuff. Okay, so now so you get out of college. What's the first professional thing that you do? Because I know it's not, there's something before American Graffiti.
Okay, well, Cindy and I were asked to do a, we went on an audition for a commercial.
Okay.
And it was for Ice Blue Secret.
Wait, how did you both go? Did you both have the same agent or something?
I'm sorry I don't remember the last name of this casting director, but she got me into Screen Actors Guild, and her name was Jennifer.
Oh.
And she was just a sweetheart, and she was a friend of Cindy's.
How old were you when this happened?
We were just right out of college.
Right out of college.
So we must have been in our, I think I was still living at home, so I must have been in my early 20s.
Okay, so now this all right, so Cindy helped you.
Cindy said Jennifer wants us to come in and read for this Ice Blue Secret commercial.
Okay, I just want to say right here, this is two women helping each other and supporting each other and helping each other and lifting each other up. Because there's this bad rap that women have out there that they are jealous and other than of themselves. And they scratch and claw their way to the top. And no, because we don't know women like that. Every woman we know.
Oh my God!
Is
Women who write where she started, they just there's no better audience in the whole world.
There is no better, and everybody is so loving. But the women that I know in life, Christina, look at Christina, look what she's doing, and she is. But I mean, every woman I know lifts women up. They don't do this bad stuff that we get a rap for. Okay, so
and she also found me a doctor when I sprained my leg, sprained my ankle on Thanksgiving. I mean, yes, she's been a diehard, and I have quite a few, friends like that. Tracy
we'll get to Tracy. And Liza. Okay, so you get
Nancy Maxwell. Can I name all my friends?
Yeah, you can name all your friends.
Maxwell, Bridget Sienna. I got great.
Monica
Vicky.
Rosenthal.
Monica, I can't forget Monica.
Okay, so you get Ice Blue Secret. Wait, you both go to audition for the same part?
No, we each two roommates, and it was the first thing that I had ever done, and I forgot.
You both got it?
Yes, and I, for some reason, got the speaking part with the holding up the Ice Blue Secret. But the
national commercial, lots of money.
But we never ran.
But you still get paid, no?
Well, get paid for doing it. But my hands, as you can see, are very small. And when I was holding the Ice Blue Secret, the director was from India, and he went, "You're making it look gigantic."
It probably looks balanced in your hands, right?
And so I spoke, and Cindy held the Ice Blue Secret. And then I made a mistake, and I went, "Cut," and he went, "I should say cut." So that was that, and oh my God, Jennifer, she wrote a letter, because it was even hard to get into Screen Actors Guild then.
Wow.
She wrote a letter and got me in.
Oh, wow. And was Cindy already in?
Cindy was already in.
Okay, so
Cindy
now...
did a show called Room 222.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Somebody else just told us that they started on Room 2. Who was here that... Somebody just told us, it might have been Amy Aquino. Amy Aquino's first gig was Room 222.
Right.
Wow. Okay, this is crazy. Wow, okay.
I did a Room 222, and I was over at my boyfriend's house, and I turned on the TV. It was a very small part. I turned on the TV, and there I was. And then, of course, I disappeared. So it was like one of the weirdest things in the world to just turn on the TV, and then you're there, and then gone. What are the chances of that?
That's happened to me, but, not for good reason. Okay, and then what's the first, like your first IMDb credit is
Drive, he said.
Drive, he said. How did that happen?
Oh, Drive, he said.
Yeah.
Yes, Jack Nicholson directed that.
And Henry Jacklin just told us about it last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because Henry's in that movie too.
Yes.
You might not have, I think he had a very small part in it, but he's in that movie.
Right, I played a cheerleader in that.
And so what was that like working what was Jack like? How did you get that part?
I slept with Jack. No, I didn't. I was friends with Cindy.
Yeah.
And Cindy told them.
Was Cindy in it?
Cindy was in it. Cindy was in it. She had. We all had small parts, but we were up in Oregon, for a couple of weeks.
Did you read for Jack?
No, because I just cheered. That's what I did. I just cheered.
Yeah.
And we had like a little cheerleading squad. And
Was Cindy a cheerleader?
no,
Oh.
she had a part. I think it was of somebody's girlfriend.
Okay.
In it,
Mhm.
but we neither one of us had big parts,
Yeah.
you know, and so
So from that, the next thing is American Graffiti. So how did you, Ricky, Cindy, all these people you know, how did you get American Graffiti?
well, you know, when Candy was here, Pat McQueenie was my manager too.
Oh.
And I went in to meet George, and the same thing happened to
George Lucas.
George was like looking out the window. He was not really that interested in me. And I was like there with Fred Roos, who was our saint casting director, who got us all, you know, up there to
Wow.
meet George.
Mhm.
And
What was George like back then when he was just a kid?
yeah, he was just kind of a kid. Well, I didn't think he was like that interested in me, you know,
Yeah.
because he was looking out the window, I think rubbing his nose. And then Fred said, "Tell him your credits," and I don't know why I just said nothing. And Fred said no, and then Fred started telling him all my credits.
Why did you do that?
Because I guess I was pissed off that he wasn't
Was he
you know,
looking at you?
me. He was like, you know, and so I just said nothing. And then I got the part, you know, and I don't even remember. It's like
Did you
Candy.
read?
I don't even remember reading. But they called Pat
Uh-huh.
and said that I got the part, and I was so excited because I must have read the script, somehow gotten a hold of the script because I loved it.
Mhm.
And then I
Did
got
you
to-
have any idea that it was going to be? I mean, you couldn't possibly have any idea that it would be what it's become.
Right,
But
right.
did you know when you read it, this is great?
Well, when I was up there, like in San Francisco and Petaluma and everything, I would tell everybody, "This is going to be a giant hit. This is going to be," and they go, "Yeah, sure, right."
Really? You knew?
Yeah.
It sounds like you have some like
Yeah,
prophetic
it was the same
skills.
thing with Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
You know, I had a little part in Bridesmaid, and I would tell
Lynn was
everybody.
who was
Maya Rudolph, mother.
Are you kidding? Lynn was Maya Rudolph's mommy in Bridesmaids. So you might have had a little part, but you're in the whole fucking movie. You're in the whole movie there.
Yeah, so
Yes, you are.
So I told the girls, I said, you know, this is like American Graffiti. This is going to be a giant hit. It's going to change history.
Oh,
You
come
know,
on.
oh, yes, I knew it. Like American Graffiti. You know, the end credits where
Yeah.
everybody says what happens.
Right.
That was the first. George, you know, that was.
Is that true?
Yes, it hadn't been done before, and now it's done all the time.
I mean,
what
I-
happened to the people in the movie?
I always think of Animal House as being the one that started that, but you put American Graffiti.
American
yes,
Graffiti
way
started
before
that.
Animal House.
And of course, you know, Bridesmaid was an international
Oh.
hit. And
I just-
thank
my
you very
kids-
much because you help pay for my mother's caregivers, and I love you for that.
My
Thank you,
kids
thank
have
you.
seen Bridesmaids, and I've seen it with them, but my kids have probably seen it 100 times. They can quote every line in that. In fact, they did it at my book signing. They did a scene from it when they were at my book signing. They did a scene from Bridesmaids. So yeah, that you knew.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
And
go.
Kristen Wiig, she said, I happened to be in the bathroom at the same time she was in the bathroom, and she said, I wanted to write a movie, you know, with, also, I love her, and I can't pronounce her last name, Amy Mamalo. She's the other writer for, anyway,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Okay.
she's a comic genius that I just can't remember her name. So anyway,
I don't want to start looking up things because then I'll screw something up.
okay.
All right, go ahead.
Now, but it's the two writers for Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
And I think Mamalo.
Mamala?
Mamalo
Okay.
or Mamalo.
Okay, Mamala.
Mamala. And she is a Mamala. She's a fantastic mother. Fantastic
Oh, look, you're getting
actress.
love and laughs and anger. Oh, somebody was angry. No, you're
Angry?
getting love. You're getting love. You're getting. Look at all the love. Look at the love. you're
Somebody's
getting.
angry because I don't know.
No,
the
no.
writer's
It's
name.
probably her. It's probably
Probably
Mama.
hers. And she said, I wanted, the two of them wanted to write a movie to showcase their friends. And that's what they did.
Wow.
And Melissa, Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
That.
So was
showcased
Melissa
her.
friends with?
Yes,
with
yes, she was in that group.
So who else was in that group?
Yeah,
Was Maya? Were they all in? Well, yeah.
Yes,
Kristen
yeah,
and Maya, sure.
They were much younger than me,
Okay,
Groundlings, but we all came from the Groundlings school, and I was so grateful. I didn't have to audition for that or
so
anything.
because you were
They asked for me
because you were
because they knew me from the Groundlings and everything. So.
When did the Groundlings happen? Did it happen before or after movies started?
What do you mean?
When did you get into the Groundlings? Was it before?
I got into the Groundlings way. It was like 1974.
Okay. And how did that happen? You're doing improv with little Ricky Dreyfuss.
No, I did. I was in a Monday night workshop, and then.
And you're how old are you when this is going? Are you in school?
I was in my 20s.
So you were out of school already. Okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. I was in, and then from there, that was an improv workshop, and that's Robin Williams was in that workshop. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the Groundlings a little bit.
And then Gary Austin, who started the Groundlings, had been a friend of mine, and also with Compass Management, Pat McQueenie, and he said, "You've got to. There's 90 people on the roster. We're doing shows all the time. You've got to come join us." So I did.
And who was there?
Who was there?
Who were the founding people of the Groundlings?
Laraine Newman, and Tracy Newman.
And Laraine got plucked and did Saturday Night Live right from there.
Right from there.
Plucked
and I only saw her do one show.
And then she's gone.
She was plucked.
But her sister Tracy Newman.
Yes.
And who's been your best friend for ever.
Yes. And she helped. She not only was she a brilliant improviser, but she also wrote stuff for her sister.
And she wrote stuff for her sister, and then Tracy went on to write for Cheers.
Right.
And then she also created According to Jim.
Right.
Tracy won the Emmy for the coming out episode of Ellen. Mm-hmm. I mean, formidable. And she is an incredible singer-songwriter. And Tracy's going to have to be on this show very soon.
Yes, very, very soon.
And and you and Tracy have been friends since the beginning of the Groundlings, right?
Right.
And still to this day.
Yes.
Very close friends.
Right. Everything that I've ever done can somehow be traced back to the Groundlings.
What, really?
Right. Like the Pee Wee Herman show was started as a late night show there.
Okay, so now Pee Wee was Paul Reubens was he an original member, or was he
He was
with
later.
You? He was later. Okay.
Yeah.
Is he a little younger? I'm thinking.
He's like 5 or 6 years younger.
Paul Reubens is younger. So, well, we'll get to how that happened. So. Okay, so you're doing the Groundlings, and you're taking a class. Then you become part of the company. You're getting movies. You're getting where does American Graffiti? Oh, and Sandy
Helberg.
Sandy,
my God! I used to do scenes with him.
So funny.
Funny genius.
Sandy went on to do a few Mel Brooks movies. So he was in I'm Spacing. He's so funny in it. Spaceballs! I'm Spacing. He was in Spaceballs. He's hysterical in Spaceballs. Okay, so I'm Spacing. That's hysterical. Okay, so...
You know, sometimes when you get too excited, your mind goes... Harvey Lembeck. That is the class that I was in.
Oh.
And before the Groundlings.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. And so now when did Phil Hartman come along for you?
In the Groundlings.
Like at the beginning? He's
like,
a little younger too, I think. No,
he's not. He's like a year.
Oh, okay.
A year younger.
Okay.
Maybe 2 years.
And so did he come along in the Groundlings around the same time you did?
No, I was
later.
I was first.
Okay.
He was later.
So we're going to have Robin Williams stories. We're going to have Phil Hartman stories, but I want to just get to how American Graffiti, because I think in order. Were you already friends with Robin and Phil before American Graffiti?
Robin and
Williams?
Oh, Robin and Phil. I was going, who's this wonderful couple that I haven't met? Robin, I don't.
Let's start with American Graffiti.
Okay, American Graffiti.
Okay.
I think I was in Harvey Lembeck's class. and around the time of American Graffiti.
Okay, so now everybody gets American Graffiti that you know. Cindy's in it, Ricky's in it, you're in it. Now you get to meet MacKenzie Phillips, Candy Clark, Harrison Ford, Ron Howard.
Yeah, well, Harrison already knew.
Okay, how'd you know Harrison?
Because we were in the same management company, and he was just like, you know, friends with Cindy and everything.
But like Harrison was I'm talking about like I know him. Like Harrison was a carpenter, and he was still doing that during those
and I wanted to be his lady.
Was he gorgeous then? I mean, was he already like hot stuff?
He was all, I mean, we were always friends, but he was always hot stuff. And
Tell the story.
oh, the story at Dantana's.
Yes.
Okay, this is not a very good you know, woman, you know, I'm woman story. But anyway, I was in my early 20s, and Harrison was absolutely adorable, and we were at Dantana's, and we were both standing up. We were in a group to leave, and I reached down to tie my shoe, and Harrison held my head down and said, "Stay down there." And instead of being insulted, which of course I should have been, I thought it was one of the most sexiest, fabulous things that ever happened to me. Harrison Ford held my head down.
I'm sorry, but it's Harrison Ford. He gets a pass on. I don't. And at the time, it's not a good Me Too moment.
Right, it's not a good Me Too moment.
Okay, so
I wouldn't turn him in.
Oh my God, who would turn Harrison Ford? Okay, so, ooh, I think a piece of my jewelry just went flying.
Because
right?
Harrison, we're both reacting to Harrison. You know,
flying.
things are
Where's my
flying
pen?
all over.
Oh,
the
it's a
place.
pen. Okay, I was like, I think my jewelry's just popping off my body thinking about Harrison. Okay, so actually Harry's named after Harrison Ford and Harry Connick. In truth.
Great.
I loved both of
Yes.
them, and so his name was born from both of those men. Okay, so you knew Harrison from earlier.
Right.
Now you get on the set, and it's like everybody you know is there.
Yes, MacKenzie I met there. I mean, I didn't know MacKenzie
And she was
before. She was a baby.
She was
a talented baby.
She was a little girl.
You know, 12 going on 40.
And all her scenes were with Paula Mack.
She was 40s. I mean, she'd be like 12 being 25. The
Yeah,
rest
she
of
was-
everybody's age. But she was unbelievable, and what a sweetheart.
Well,
And
now,
I
what
love
was
her
it
so
like
much.
for-
And she was at Women Who Write.
And she's the reason we have tissue boxes,
Oh my
because
God.
when MacKenzie came and read her book, we all cried. Were you here when she read?
No.
Oh God, she came and she read, and we all cried. And so somebody said, "Why don't you have Rick Smolke make tissue boxes?" And he did. Oh my God. Anyway, so she's like a little kid. You're all in your 20s.
Right.
Was it
I
weird?
No, I didn't really work with any of those people because
Yeah.
I only had one scene,
Yeah.
and I just worked with Richard. You know,
Okay.
definitely.
And so was it odd for you guys to be working together? You knew each other so well. Wait, you didn't tell the story
What story?
that when he asked you to marry him.
Oh, I think we were in the 4th grade, and Richard, I can't call him Ricky, asked me to marry him. I think we had to stay after school because we were talking. You know.
What a shock!
And he was I remember he was at the blackboard, and he asked me to marry him.
I have to love this.
And he was moody. I mean, I loved him, but I didn't really want to marry him because of his mood changes. And I thought it would be difficult
you're
for the
getting
two
a lot
of
of love
us.
for that.
It wouldn't. I just felt it wouldn't work out between the two of us, the marriage. And then
The marriage.
a couple of months later, he was
I
at
gotta
the
stop banging my head down my roots.
blackboard again.
Nicole, I need you.
And
Next
he
week.
said, and he was so serious.
Yeah.
And he said, I asked my mother if I could marry you, and she said no, because you're not Jewish. And I loved his mother. His mother's name was Robin, and they lived,
Oh
across
my
the
God,
street
that's
for a long
classic.
time.
Did he marry a Jewish girl?
I don't know what I don't know.
We have to find out if Richard
I don't know.
Dreyfuss
I mean,
married a Jewish girl or if he made his mother miserable. again.
But I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God.
I don't have to marry you?
I don't because it was out of it, I didn't have to deal with the
Did you
marriage.
ever kiss each other?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
We spin the bottle and yes. Oh yeah. Very good kiss. I may take that back. I may convert so I can marry him.
Good kisser, huh?
Yeah, he's a very, very good kisser. But mostly we're friends, and we're friends to this day.
Did you ever go out when you were older? Did you ever date?
Well, we were neighbors, so we'd go to Temple Emmanuel together.
But I mean, you didn't you were never boyfriend and girlfriend.
No, we were always friends.
Yeah,
but we would go to movies. We saw the Defiant ones, the original Defiant ones. We were. He had the first 45 Come Softly with Me, and he said, "Look what I bought." That was the first record he ever bought, and it was Come Softly to Me.
That was when they went from 33 to
45.
45?
Yeah, 45. He went out and bought a 45.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the little disc.
The
that used to
disc,
go
and
in the
yeah,
middle.
it was that time.
Wow.
Oh, and him and his best friend at the time, probably his best friend now, Carl Borak, they used to come over and serenade me with songs from Temple.
Oh,
and I
Oh,
went to
how
both-
romantic that is. Baruch atah Adonai. Now that's what you want to hear.
and
Oh, I know that song.
yeah. I can even do it in Japanese. And I just loved it. I had a little balcony, and Carl Borak and Ricky would serenade me.
Oh my God! All right, so let's go back to American Graffiti. So you and Ricky are on the set in American Graffiti.
Yes.
You know it's going to be something. Does everybody else know it's going to be? Because Candy didn't think it was going to be.
Well, I remember.
I don't think she did. Christina, did Candy think it was going to be a big thing?
I don't think she did.
so.
I saw it.
Yeah.
She didn't say.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But George Lucas came over to the car, and he said, "This is my least favorite scene in the movie."
What?
And it didn't affect me because I was so happy to be on a set.
Wait a minute. Why was George so mean to you?
I
In
don't
your
know,
rehearsal?
but he said it to the whole car, and Ricky, rightfully so, was like, "What? Well, that's he."
Wow.
But the scene turned out, with editing and everything like that.
Fantastic.
It turned out really fun.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why would a director say that to a car full of actors?
I don't know.
It's so awful.
But I just remember.
Have you ever seen George since then?
No, I
Never.
never have. Maybe it was the worst.
Did Ricky
but I was-
ever work with George again?
I
Yeah.
didn't-
No, that's Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
But didn't George Lucas produce Close Encounters? I know it was a Steven Spielberg film, but I'm thinking maybe George had something to do with that, like executive producer or
I don't
something.
know.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
But it was fun, I mean, it was fun driving around, and it was the first time I ever drove a stick.
Right.
And then Ricky, I remember him saying the whole scene was shot in one night, and it was supposed to be a week.
Everything was shot at night in
Yeah,
American Graffiti,
yeah.
wasn't it? It was supposed to take place over the course of one night, right?
right.
Yeah.
And originally my scene was going to be a week long, but they were so far behind schedule that they condensed it to this one scene. So I worked all night, and then there was a lot of prop cars and everything, and it got to be in the morning, and I wasn't a real skilled driver for a stick shift. And then in the morning, there were these trucks coming, and Ricky was in the back seat. He was going, "These aren't the prop cars. These aren't our cars." And I was like, Petaluma is the chicken capital of the world, so I'm sure there's a lot of chicken in the cars, and driving around these big trucks,
Oh my God.
But I didn't kill anybody.
I'm so glad.
But it was scary because they didn't know that they were real.
God. Oh my God. All right. So American Graffiti, wonderful experience. You become friends with all of these. Well, you're friends already.
I'm friends with,
but then you become friends with Candy. You
Yeah.
become friends with were you friends with Paul and Matt? Did you become friends?
Yes, from signing.
Okay.
Yes, because like I said before, they've gone like all over the world, different places, you know. But I've gone like all over the country to do signing.
And still do. You were just at one last week or whatever.
Right. Right. For I guess it's the 40th anniversary.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go back to the Groundlings. So let's talk about Robin Williams. So tell us about Robin Williams.
I have a great Robin Williams story.
Oh, yay.
Robin and I were asked to be a Jewish couple on a bench.
Who's buying this as Jewish? Well,
I grew up in Beverly Hills by osmosis.
Yeah.
Okay. And it wasn't hard for me because I had grown up with you know, and I can do that like blind. What do you mean you're blind? You know that sound. So that was from
What do you mean?
That was from Butterflies Are Free.
Yeah, I love that movie.
So we did the scene, and the scene was good.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but this is.
Was he already like?
He was
already Robin.
Yeah, he was already Robin.
Yeah.
But he was so upset that the scene wasn't great, you know, and it was because he hadn't worked on or been, I guess he hadn't been around a lot of Jewish people because he wasn't like he usually is.
He's from San Francisco.
I know, but
not a lot of Jews.
Wait till you hear the end of the story.
Okay.
Then, and this made me cry. You know, a couple of months later.
Yeah.
I saw him on a show, a late night show, and he.
Oh, so he's already doing television.
He's already doing television.
Is he famous already?
He's pretty famous.
He's not Mork and Mindy famous though, is he?
Yeah, I think he's already doing Mork and Mindy and everything.
Oh, he's famous.
Yes, he's famous.
Okay.
He's famous.
Okay.
And he does a Yiddish tailor who speaks Yiddish gibberish. And he was genius. And what had happened in that couple of months is that he had studied. He had gotten that in his psyche and was able to do it.
Wow.
And it was just like, you did it, Robin. You did it.
Wow.
You went from being okay to your natural state, which is genius.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so, and Phil Hartman, tell us how your relationship with Phil started. What was that like? What was it like when he became a Groundling?
Well, I loved working with Phil.
I mean, I've seen a gazillion pictures of you and
Yeah.
Phil. I know there was a lot of love there.
Yes, he was so, I mean, talk about hitching your wagon to a star. Everything I ever wrote or did with him, it was... I was in love with him because I knew it was laying pipes. You know, like when we did the Pee Wee show, you know, Miss Yvonne wanted him to like her, you know, and she was doing everything to get that wish, you know. So
This is my Miss Yvonne doll, which you too can have. They sell these in the store. Miss Yvonne, it's Lynne's doll. How many people have their own doll? I love that so much. But you're a living doll.
Oh,
okay. So let's hear about Phil.
Thank you.
Tell us some stuff about Phil that we don't know. How did your relationship with him begin? Like, how did you become Fast Ride? Like, how did that? Did you love each other right away?
Yes, and there was the group, the Pee Wee group of Paul Reubens and John Paragon and Edie McClurg. We were all friends from the Groundlings.
Okay, so how did the Pee Wee thing start? Did it start in the Groundlings as an improv?
Well, it started, Paul Reubens did Pee Wee as a character in the late night shows at the Groundlings.
Okay.
You know, and people would call from San Francisco and say, you know, I'm planning my trip around seeing the Groundlings. Is Paul Reubens is Pee Wee Herman going to be in the show?
Wow.
And so it was getting to be a big cult hit.
Yeah.
And so I was
Do you
not
know
a
how he
Groundling.
came up with that? Like, how he came up with that character?
he came, Gary Austin was the founder of the Groundlings.
Right.
It was his suit.
Yeah.
And he
really?
Yes, and he developed it in a wonderful actress, Phyllis Katz. Phyllis Katz, who talked with us.
Phyllis has been to Women's Right,
promoting her book.
Yeah.
And she's great at coming up with improv games and stuff like that. So he was supposed to do like a non-funny comic, and he did a little boy with bad jokes and everything, and it just progressed.
Wow.
So I was working at Funny You Should Ask, which was another improv group at the time, and Paul called me and said, I want to do a show featuring Pee Wee Herman. Will you be in it? And I was like, yes.
And had you guys been doing improv together to that point? Yeah.
We've been
but
doing
other things,
prop
not the
before.
Pee Wee stuff.
Not the Pee Wee stuff.
Okay. Was he funny doing other stuff as well?
Oh, yes.
Ridiculous.
Yes, he has 10 characters equally brilliant that he could do. But he's very different in real life than as Pee Wee.
Tell us how.
He talks like this. He goes, "Hi, hello, Lynn." And he doesn't sound like Pee Wee at all.
That's so funny.
Yes, but he's and so that's what happened. I went back to the Groundlings, and it was heaven, because one of the things that he does really well is get people who are great in their field.
Okay.
Like great singers and great artists. Gary Panter designed the sets, and he was cutting edge punk. And later on, Wayne White, worked on the Wayne White. He's fabulous artist. He has shows all over the country, and Rick Heitzman also.
Okay.
They did.
I love that you remember everybody's name. I'm like so
and
impressed.
Gary Panter, and these were Emmy award-winning artists for the TV show when it was on TV. And so it was so exciting. It was such an exciting time.
The Del Rubio triplets.
Oh my God, the Del Rubio triplets!
Michelle Hines is saying that cow itch. Oh, are these Pee Wee things?
He loved. It was in the Christmas special. The
Pee Wee
Del Rubio.
Playhouse. Oh, okay.
And they were three triplets, and they wore shorts, really short shorts. They were older women, and they kind of, we'll be glad to do your show. They kind of talk like that. And they sang, and they went to nursing homes, and of course the guys at the nursing homes were just like, because of their little shorts and blonde hair. And of course the gays loved them. I mean,
gays.
They would like if you go to a festival, they would run up on stage to be the fourth Del Rubio. All in drag, and they were
the gays.
The gays did that. Is that derogatory?
No, it's
I don't
just
think so.
it's
I love
hysterical.
it.
I love the gays.
It's Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin is my gays. My gays. Gay people adore the Del Rubio for good reason, and
so
Allie Willis was one of the people that introduced them. She had them at parties and stuff.
Oh my
God!
Hi, Allie, I love you.
We love you, Allie. And then Paul fell in love with them and used them in the show and in the Christmas special.
Okay, so what's the birth of the Pee Wee? Okay, so it starts out, he's doing the character in the Groundlings.
Right.
And he says, I want to do a show. Will you come and do the show?
Yes.
So
we all got together. We rehearsed in the back room, and Bill Steinkellner, who's an award-winning writer, producer, and he's an improvised
I was going to say, now, were you guys improvising too, or were you just...
We would improvise scenes.
Okay.
And then we start to put them together. And I'd run down the street to the aardvark on Melrose and keep bringing... He wanted her to look like a prom queen, so I kept bringing in dresses, and he wanted her wig to be high. And then so finally, we got a white dress who kind of looked like Elizabeth Taylor from Raintree County, only if somebody peed on the dress. that's the dress that he liked. And that's the dress that I use. And there were great people like Tito Lariva, who's a friend of mine today with the Cruzados. And Rick and Ruby were really hot, and they did stuff in the original show. So I mean, he just had.
So now was the show?
Jay Cotton
was the show a hit right from the get-go? It was. Yeah. Yes,
there were lines around the block.
How long did it run? Did it run a long time?
It ran. I think it ran for a summer, and then I don't know. I think a couple of months, and then we went to the Roxy. And then that was a summer at the Roxy.
Wow.
Yes, we did the shows at the Roxy. And we were just so cool. I mean, you couldn't get any cooler. We had punk rock designs. It was Pee Wee.
Wow.
And we had a hit show at the Roxy.
So now, were you guys like when you would go places, would people go like, Miss Yvonne?
No,
because
you didn't
look like that.
I didn't look like that. No. The first time that I've been recognized was as Charlie's mother, because I look like I look in real life, and it's so much fun to be recognized. And when it happens, I like follow my fans around. I'm so excited that somebody recognized me. Hi, coffee.
Okay, so how long does it take until the show becomes a television? Till it like?
I think a couple of years.
Okay.
And then I was looping. I was at a looping session, and Paul called me at the looping session and said, I want to do a TV show, and I thought it was a cartoon. So I thought, sure, I'd love to. He said, no, it's going to be a TV show. And I was like, oh my God. And we had again, it was the best. V. Neal, who's an award-winning makeup artist, she did Paul and my makeup. I mean, she did makeup for everybody. And Robert Tudories, which is a award-winning costume designer. Right there, sorry. And Garry Marshall was award-winning hairstylist. So we had the best. We had the absolute best.
And you had a ball.
And we had a ball. And I'll tell you a funny story. Paul wanted us to look really young, and so he would have really
good lights.
Really good lights. But the lights were I had to walk I remember I had to walk forward, and the light, Paul, you gotta get rid of these lights. I can't see. I'm blinded. So those lights were gone. Oh, he also wanted me to wear one of those things, where you lift.
What?
And I couldn't because my skin. I tried, but my skin was allergic, and it started to get all
latex.
I thought I can't. You just have to let nature look like nature. I can't be like this. And
oh my God, that's hysterical. Yeah. All right, so Pee Wee, you've done a gazillion TV. I can't believe how many TV movies you've done. I started counting.
As nurses.
Really?
I did 7 nurses on MASH. MASH was my first time as a nurse.
How'd you get MASH?
I got MASH just from going out on an interview. My agent, and
so
and
why
I'm sure it was
different
Harvey
nurses?
Lembeck, a connection, because there was a lot of people working on MASH that were in Harvey Lembeck's class.
And then so they kept casting you as different nurses?
Yes, I played Radar's girlfriend.
Oh.
I got to say, Radar, when are you going to make a real delivery? And I got to kiss Radar.
Oh, God.
And after the kiss, he flubbed his lines. So I thought, wow, I'm so powerful.
Did you work with Mike Farrell?
No, I didn't.
Were you here when Mike Farrell was here?
No.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'll have to go back in the archives and see that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I met him. I didn't, I met him.
Yeah,
he was super, super nice.
So most of your
I'm
scenes...
talking.
Most of your scenes were with Radar?
With Radar.
Okay.
They were always with Radar.
It was always with Radar. But you were 7 different nurses, you said.
7 different nurses in love with Radar.
No,
there were sometimes I would be at a shower for Hot Lips or something, or I was in a shower and Radar, came into the shower.
Oh.
I mean, he came in and they went, he went like this.
Okay, so MASH, and then when does Laverne and Shirley? When does that whole was Mork and Mindy first, or was Laverne and Shirley first?
Mork and Mindy.
It's on IMDb.
well, there's so many mistakes on
on your IMDb, you have like a recurring character on Mork and Mindy, and it lists a ton of episodes. That's a lie?
No, I didn't do Mork. I wish I did.
That's so weird. Okay,
Yes,
so tell
I
us,
did Mork and Mindy.
so tell
They
us-
loved me.
so-
I don't know why they got rid of me.
So tell us about Laverne and Shirley, working with Garry Marshall too.
Oh my God.
Did Cindy get you in there?
Cindy got me in there, and I got the parts because like a lot of times, one time they had women wrestlers, and they gave them lines,
Yeah.
and they couldn't do the lines, so
They
the
hired
night
you to be a
before-
women wrestler?
No, they had to be the manager of the women wrestlers.
Okay.
And they gave me all their lines, and
Wow.
and I would yell things out, and during like a run through, I took over the lines for the women wrestlers, and I made a mistake. I was yelling out like a command to women wrestlers, and I got the lines mixed up, and I said, "Give them the Black Ball Busters." And Garry came over and he went, "Lynn, it's a children's show."
Garry was wonderful when you were here when Garry was
Yes,
here.
yes.
What was he like on set?
He was adorable. I mean, he was
Garry.
He was Garry. Yeah, he was wonderful. But they would always give me a part every year, and they stick me in a different wig, and Squiggy, you know,
Oh, God.
David Landers. He and Michael McKeon wrote a part for me as Squiggy's girlfriend, and it was just so much fun.
What was your relationship with Penny like?
It was good.
Yeah.
And after I went back and did a show, and also she directed me in Jumping Jack Flash with John Lovitz and Phil Hartman.
Okay, Jumping Jack Flash. I love Jumping Jack Flash. I absolutely love that. Okay, so tell what was your part in Jumping Jack Flash? Tell us about that.
Oh, well, John Lovitz actually kind of had a part. Phil and I didn't really have a part. We were just kind of improvising in different scenes.
Yeah.
And one time,
Was John Lovitz a Groundling?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. And Penny would say, "Lynn, get up there." And I said, "I can't, like, Carol Kane and Whoopi are having a scene. I can't just get up there."
What
and
did
go in
she
the middle
want
of
you
the
to
scene. I guess she wanted me to improvise or do something, but I said, "I can't just walk into their scene, you know, to get up."
That scene when Whoopi is trying to learn the words to Jumping Jack Flash.
Yes.
Mick, speak English. That is one of the funniest things I have ever seen. It is absolutely classic. So was that like a fun set to be on?
Yes.
Yes, it looked like a fun set.
It was a fun set, and yeah, it was a fun set. But Penny just did that out of love. She just wanted to be in the movie
That's
more.
so sweet.
Yes. And I think I did get up and do something in the background. I didn't disturb their scene, but I was in the
Aww.
yeah.
Okay, so give us, there's just, I can't even think now. There's so many. So bring us up to It's Always Sunny. So between Laverne and Shirley, there was you had so many TV movies. I can't even believe how many you've done. And so many guest roles on television shows and movies in there. And any highlights, anything that stands out, any actors that you loved working with, anything that stands out? This was a highlight from my career.
This was a highlight. I think there was some stuff like like a comedy Bang Bang. I enjoyed doing and I got to, yes. And
Recurring role?
I have a story about comedy Bang Bang.
Okay.
I did Night Court with Harry Anderson, who recently passed.
Was he a sweetheart?
Oh my God, I loved him so much.
Was he a Groundling?
No.
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 But he started out in improv somewhere, I think.
Oh yeah, and
Magic.
Magic.
Yeah.
And Tim Stack, who's done tons of cable shows, and a fabulous writer, and works all the time. I mean, he doesn't do character. He did like Son of the Beach, and
You were also on that.
Yes. I if Tim works, I work. So he's just amazing. And Nightstand, he did, and Son of the Beach was what was a FX cable hit, and he was friends with Harry Anderson, and I did Night Court, and
what was your part of Night Court?
Night Court, I was the two sisters, that talk like this, Dear Abby, and he was just so much fun, and he made everybody feel special. And Tim and I would go over to his house, and he had Dashiell and Eva, and are his kids. And Eva Anderson I know I'm saying genius a lot, but she was a little genius. She was already a fantastic writer, and she was maybe nine, and I said, Eva, when you grow up, you're going to be a fabulous writer, and if you ever need, I'll be really old then, and I said, if you ever need an old lady on a hill, that said, get out of here, I'll be glad to be your old lady on the hill, And as it worked out, she did grow up, and I was a old lady in one of her videos.
Oh my God!
Yes,
did she remember that?
Of course she did.
Oh my God!
Because
you told her 20 times.
Yes, I told her 20 times. Oh, remember, old lady on a hill. And she was a writer for Comedy Bang Bang, and she wrote that part for me on Comedy Bang Bang. And then she went off to do something else, and they just kept me on.
Oh, I love this.
So it was all
so
her. Thank you.
A lot of your career, a lot of the work was because of the relationships that you made. And,
Yes.
And loyalty, and
friends I made from the Groundlings. Like I said, everything I've ever done could be traced back.
How about Always Sunny?
One of my very best friends is John Brace, who used to be the technical director of the Groundlings.
Okay.
His best friend is John Papsadero, who's a very successful casting director. And he was casting that part. And I went in, and it was a crying scene, and John thought I was really funny in the crying scene. I mean, I didn't. I was really crying, and he fell on the floor and started laughing.
Tell us how you do that. When you have to audition and you have to cry, Samantha, this is for you. What do you do? How do you bring on the tears?
Well,
I'm serious.
Okay. I don't know. I'll get really sad if I do it, but I'll give you a B. Arthur. I studied acting with B. Arthur.
Did you really?
Yeah.
At what stage of her career? Pre-Maud, I'm assuming. Before Maud.
Oh, no.
No, not that B. Arthur.
No, I'm saying the wrong name.
Oh, who was it?
B. She's fabulous black actress. B.
Okay.
Not B. Arthur. B. She was in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Oh.
And she was B. Richards. B. Richards.
Okay. All right.
Oh, we have to look her up.
All right. All right.
Guess Who's Coming to B. Richards. I think it's B. Richards. I didn't study with her very long.
All right, keep
but she was
talking
amazing.
while I look.
Okay. She said that if you have to cry, you just think of something. You say, "I'm not going to cry.
Yep.
I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry."
I've
and
heard
that
this
helps
before.
you.
I've heard this
I'm not
before.
going to cry. I'm not going to cry.
B. Richards, yes.
B. Richards,
yes.
yay.
Okay. All right.
I'm
you
so
were right.
sorry, saint and spirit of you, brilliant actress. Thank you. I think I took 3 classes, and then of course she got work and left the studio. But
Okay.
she was amazing. That's what Just think, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. But I have to cry a lot now because I'm older. But
in life or on the screen?
On the screen, I know.
Okay.
But I don't have, like some people have a wonderful technique, like they see their dead dog, and think of their dead dog, dead dog. But I can cry most of the time. And without being as...
And the way you do it is to say, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry.
And it helps. But what helps if you go to Friends or something and you get those tears. That really helps. It really helps me. Or just that, just stuff from the CVS. You like it? Oh no.
Just go to CVS.
I've used that so many times on Sunday, that I've gotten a chance to do that. And the first time, I actually, there is something like at Friends Beauty that you can put in your eyes and make you cry.
At Friends Beauty Supply?
Yeah.
At Friends Beauty Supply, you can also get Nicole Venable's Fuck You Hairspray. You can.
And the first time, first time I ever did Sunny, I was crying because it was Charlie Gets Molested, and I thought that his gym teacher had molested him, but he didn't. It ended he didn't. But my first scene is a big crying scene, and I put that stuff in my eyes, and it burned so much. I was like hysterical crying. I was like, because my eyes were burning. But no, I'm not. I'm not somebody a pro who you should go to telling me your technique, because it's Visine, the stuff from Friends, and just I'm not good.
Okay, but the truth is, you have to. I mean, and this show is about that. This show is about how did you do what you do? How do you do what you do? Like, if you had to share, like, you've had an extraordinary career. You work a lot, and you've worked for a long time, and you're always fucking funny. So you are. So, do you have some wisdom to share? I mean, like, what do you think? What is the reason? I'm thinking part of the reason that you've had a lot of success is because you've made these fantastic relationships and people want to have you around.
Oh, I have some advice.
Good.
Yes, here's my advice. If you want to go into comedy and you take classes like at Upright Citizens Brigade or the Groundlings, or it used to be Acme. I mean, in Second City, there's a lot of places. A lot of times you're with people that are taking improv, and then they end up being producers and writers and directors, and are in a situation to hire you. And it's very important to be a nice person, a friendly person, somebody you would want to have a work with, other people would want to work with you. Because I've seen this happen, where if you're in classes with someone and you don't like somebody, and you like badmouth them and it gets back to them, later on, they're a producer and a writer-producer of a sitcom, and they are so happy not to hire you. You have to be so damn good to pass that, to be somebody like, we have to get them no matter what. If you or another actor are both on par with one another, they're going to go with the actor who didn't badmouth them 20 years ago in class.
Okay, so I love, this is good advice not just for acting, this is good advice for life.
For life, yeah.
Right? And so it's the people that are likable, that are kind, that are fun to be around. Yeah. These are the people we want to have around. Right? So the assholes, we're only going to use them if we have to, but we really want to be around the people like Lynne. Because Lynne, I guess I met him separately. I was going to say thanks to you I get to go to Phil's, but I did meet you on my way to go to Phil Rosenthal's pizza movie night on the first time. You met me first because I was nervous and I was scared to go. But it worked out. But it did work out. But Lynne is one of the people. Phil has a list, and it used to be that we all used to get to go every week, but now it rotates. But Lynne gets to go every week, no matter what.
I didn't go every week.
Yeah, you do.
I can't go every week.
Well, but you get invited every week because Lynne is one of those people that you just want to have around.
Well, it's the cloud. The cloud decides who gets to go.
because Lynne is somebody that you just want to have around, and so that works in life and it works on the set.
Yes.
And it's.
Well, I can have some more advice.
Good. We want your advice.
All right. So that's my advice. You can't have like one best friend that you can go, do you know what they did? You know, that could be your best friend, but it has to be very, very close. But don't badmouth fellow actors. It's not a good idea, and you know, it's just it gets back to them if you're in the same circles. It gets back. But you can have that one special friend. You know.
Who do you do that with?
I guess I do that. I don't know how much I do that.
You
But
don't
I know
do-
you can do that.
But you don't.
I know
do
you can do
But
that. I've done it.
You're not that person.
I
don't
done
think
it.
I've known you for some years. I can't think of one negative thing I've ever heard you say about anybody, to be honest.
Oh, that's really sweet. But
I
I'm saying for you can have that friend. I think I have quite a few of those friends. But I just say a little bit. But I mean, if you're in classes, just be really, really careful what you say, because it can go back to haunt you, and be somebody people want to work with. Mm-hmm. And what else did I want to? Oh, you know what would be a really good idea that I don't do is because you're gonna meet so many people along your way in your career, is like if you meet somebody at a party, write their name down. You know, that's a really good first start. And
remember it.
Yeah, and remember it. And also, do they have dogs? Do they have kids? Are they married? You know, because you'll see that person again, and you're like, oh, I like that person. I don't remember their name. I don't.
So you mean somewhere it's written Vicki, Harry, and Samantha?
No, I know though. But you're going to meet a lot of people.
But I'm not important enough for you to have to write me down.
No, I know everybody in your family's name. But it's just really good, and write something about them so you can ask them if they're taking care of their mother. Say how's your mom?
So you do this or you don't do this?
I don't, but I think it's a great idea.
I think it's.
I should do it.
But then what if you don't have that paper with you when you run into them?
Well, put it in your iPhone and just go, and then you.
It's actually very good advice.
How's your son, Ben?
Yeah, that could be good.
Just make notes on people. Make notes on people, and what they like to eat if you're going out to dinner with them.
All right. So now, how about learning lines at this stage of life? I'm really curious. I'm really curious about this.
Uh-huh.
I always am so worried about my memory. That stuff runs in my family. It runs in yours. Are you able to memorize? Like, do you have a trick for memorizing lines? How do you memorize lines?
Well, what I do to memorize lines is, this is one of the great things about being single, having the unobserved life. I can do lines. Thank you, Libby Westby, for that. And that. That line, the unobserved line.
Oh.
You can, ad nauseum, you can go over your lines over and over and over again. And I have to, because I want the security of knowing my lines so well that I don't have to think about them, that I can just play. And the great thing about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is that they don't care if you flub the line.
Oh, really?
They don't at all, because they're best friends. They're all married to each other. They're all best friends. And Sandy Martin, who's my partner in It's Always Sunny. Well, Rob, who plays her son, he can't stop laughing at her. So they'll, and so we have to wait until he laughs. But it's fine, because it's such a great, it's such a great chemistry with everybody. And one time I forgot my line, and I said, and I blew it, and I was so sad. And I said, oh, Charlie, I'm so sorry. I forgot my line. I said, I don't care. I don't care if you forget your line.
Wow. Okay, so now I just thought of something else. We're getting to wrap time, but you just got to do Broadway recently.
10 years ago.
Was it 8 years ago? No, it wasn't.
8 years
I
ago.
already knew you when you were doing it.
2010.
Have I known you that long?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You knew me before.
I did.
Yes.
Okay, so what was it like to do Broadway?
Oh my God, it was so much fun, because everybody loved us. It wasn't a show that they were testing out.
Right.
They'd all grown up on the Pee Wee show, and there were 40-year-old men with their mothers who were my age or a little bit younger.
Uh-huh.
And I would say to the 40-year-old men, he said, I came here with my mother. And I said, where's your mother? He says, she's in the bathroom. He says, it was really, then he was really nice. I said, let's wait for your mother. And the mothers, that's what was unbelievable, because they were with their sons or daughters who were in their 40s.
Right.
that was their memory together of watching that show every week.
God.
And so I said, let's wait. And she went nuts. You know, she was so happy to talk with me and share that time. And this.
What is it like the first night you walk out on the Broadway stage? What is that feeling like when you walk out on the Broadway stage?
It was great, but we had previews and everything. And
but I mean the first
the first
time when there's an audience out there and you walk out and there's that Broadway energy and you're in costume and makeup and
it's pretty thrilling. You know,
she's pretty blasé for doing it. Samantha, don't listen to Lynn. It will be more exciting.
Broadway. but it was.
And how about the first time you go out to sign autographs on the Broadway from a Broadway show?
That was fun. But there were people that would stand in the snow, and I didn't know they were in the snow because I was taking off my makeup and everything.
Right.
I didn't know they were outside. There were people in the snow. I'm like, I'm so sorry. You had to wait for an hour while I got out of my makeup and everything. You know. So. It was really fun, and I wasn't like Samantha will do Broadway. I mean, there's no question. She's already done it, you know, with that
the waitress
thing. But I wasn't one of those someday Broadway. But when you're actually there, and like you know you go out of Broadway, it's thrilling. It's absolutely.
Did you go to Sardi's?
Oh yes, we did the whole thing. It was very, very exciting, and you're with your friends, and we were like,
did you go to wait for the reviews and the opening night? And
I don't know whether we didn't wait for the reviews, but my friend John Moody, who played Mailman Mike, he said we're just a bunch of carnies, and it's true. We were from L.A. You know, none of us had done Broadway before, and it really was. Thrilling. I think that our king of cartoons and our understudy, they went on to do Broadway forever.
Really?
You know? Yeah. They never came home. They never went home.
All right. So if you've done a lot of things, is there any dream that's still unfulfilled that you would like to do? Is there anything that you haven't done that still calls?
I think I'm really happy. I love the fact that I come from an improv background, and if I want to write a woman show for myself, I can. Mm-hmm. You know, and
is that something that you might do?
No, but I can. And I love to dance. You know,
yes,
I'm taking flamenco now on Sundays, and I take tap on Saturdays. From Johnny Hobbs. Thank you, Johnny.
Do you want to do a musical?
I'm not really a singer. Oh, you know what? I would like to take singing lessons, and I would like to take Jimmy. Yes, I like to.
Jimmy Smagula, who actually helped Samantha get into NYU.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that was part of her, but anyway, Jimmy trained Samantha.
Because I can sing. I've sung at the Groundlings as characters, but I've never sang as myself. You know, so I would like to, and I come from a no singing back. You had your dad, but you said that you're not a singer.
No, I did musicals in high school, but I was not a singer, not like Samantha. No.
Yeah.
So
I would like to study with Jimmy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so maybe do a little tap and a little.
Oh yes, I could do a little tap and then break into flamenco and then a little hula. You know. So.
Now wait a minute, and you also learned to surf.
Yes! Wow. Nobody's ever talked to me. Yes, I did.
I saw the picture. Now, that was not that long ago.
Well, I'm in my early 70s. I was in my late 50s.
Hello.
And I was in Hawaii.
So what made you want to? Okay.
I was in Hawaii, and I'd always loved surfing movies and thought I was Gidget. Like, oh, moon doggy. The bigger they are, the dopier they are. So anyway, and then I had a friend, Nancy Steen, who is a little bit younger than me, but took surfing lessons and surfed.
Okay.
You know, she was a surfer, and Mark Steen's her brother, and they're both surfers. And so I thought, if I don't do this now, when am I going to do it? You know, I'm going to be 60.
Are you a good swimmer?
I'm a good swimmer.
Yeah.
I'm not a great swimmer, but
you're
you know, and And so I went on the beach in Hawaii, and there was this old Hawaiian guy, smoking his cigarette with a big pot belly, and I went, that's my teacher. I want him to teach me. So anyway, he put out his cigarette, and he was like really Hawaiian, like, he's showing me on the boat, hey, keep your titties up. Keep your titties up. So I had to go, and I said, I have blood pressure medication, and I told my teacher, my surfing instructor, excuse me, I have to go to the hotel, get my blood pressure medication.
You might be the first surfer to ever have to stop.
So I did. I took it, and I think it really was beginner's luck, even though I've gone back to Hawaii and gotten up again. But I was able
up
to
the first time?
Yeah, I got up,
Wow.
and it was everything that you would expect surfing to be. It was absolutely.
You rode the wave?
Yeah, but it was not a big wave, but it was on Waikiki, and they're long and smooth waves. It was even, But I'm so glad that he said, hey, you want a picture? I said, no, I don't want a picture. But the cameraman knew.
I saw the picture.
Yeah, and he took a picture of me. So I was so happy to have that picture to prove that, yes, I'm a surfer.
And so have you done it since?
I have. I did it a couple of times when I went to Hawaii. But I'm kind of a spoiled surfer. I just like the warm Hawaiian waves.
It's very cold in California.
Yeah. I've never surfed in California.
Yeah,
only Waikiki. I'm kind of a debutante surfer.
I love that.
But it was thrilling, and I can see why guys ditch school and go surfing.
Wow.
It's really, really thrilling.
Is there anything like that? Okay, so singing, surfing, is there anything else like on your list, on your bucket list? Not about acting, but just life?
I would like to go to Machu Picchu in Peru. Yeah. Because it just calls to me.
Okay.
And I remember when I was in Brazil, I took Portuguese in Brazil, and I also taught improv in Brasilia. Oh, there's so many things you find out about me. And so I went to a travel agent, and I said, I'd like to go to Peru on the way home.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see Machu Picchu. And he says, there's a civil war there. You can't go. There was fighting, and so I couldn't go.
So that's still ahead of you.
Yeah, I would like to go before, because you have to be able to breathe.
Yeah, the air is
I'm still breathing.
Take your blood pressure medication
and my winded medication.
Well, I adore you so much. This has been it's always sunny with that's what I said. It is always sunny with Lynne Stewart. It's always fun. Phil makes Lynne stand up and tell poems and stuff. Just a weird thing. You have one for us?
A poem?
I don't know. You would stand up and
I can do a little prayer.
Yeah, do a little prayer for us.
Okay. Thank you, God, that we took over the house and all the wonderful, creative women that are going to represent us. Muslims and lesbians.
Yes.
We love lesbians.
The gays.
The gays. The gay mothers. The Native Americans.
Yes.
And the young women.
Unbelievable.
And for the first time ever, there's so many first time ever. Mm-hmm. And in Colorado, a gay married man is representing Colorado. Oh, and somebody said, the baker who wouldn't bake a cake for the gays, now he's a senator, right? Is the senator? Yes. Now he's being represented by a gay man, and he wouldn't make a cake for gay men, and now he's being represented in the Senate by a gay man.
And
We love that.
And so, what's your prayer?
Oh, my prayer
Yeah.
is just thank you, God. Thank you, God, for the change that is happening, and that we're part of it, and that strong, beautiful, smart women are rising to the top where they should be.
Right on, motherfucker. I love that prayer.
Yeah. Right on.
I saw Black.
Beethoven.
I saw. Oh
Besos for Beto.
Yeah, but Beto was. But
I fucking love you, Beto. Right back at you.
So.
Wait, is that a little heavy? Is
No,
it
no,
okay.
no, it's good, it's good. So, okay, so next week, Jimmy Vivino. Okay, so Jimmy Vivino is the band leader on Conan O'Brien, and he has been since the very beginning. I've known Jimmy since before that. Jimmy is the co-founder with Will Lee. I love you, Will. I love you, Jimmy, of the Fab Four. And they do the ultimate Beatles tribute, and they just did it at the Beacon Theater, I think just a couple days ago, or maybe now.
People love it. They cry.
It's unbelievable. I went. I heard them do the whole White Album. Amazing. And they did. They just did a whole George Harrison tribute at the Beacon Theater like this week, I believe. And so Jimmy's going to be here next week, and I'm so excited about that. The following week, Snuffy Walden.
Snuffy's coming?
Okay, Snuffy's coming to my house. Okay, so Snuffy, you guys were both here. Christina and Lynn were both here last week when Snuffy was here with Sarah Nimitz, and they performed. And I have
Sarah's
going to be here on her own later.
Oh, no.
I don't even know if she knows this yet.
I have a lady boner for
I know,
Sarah.
I know.
She's that fabulous.
Her voice is absolutely ridiculous, in the top 5 singers I've ever heard in my life, women singers. But I've gotten educated on Snuffy in the last week. I had no idea. Do you know about Snuffy?
Well, you gave his credits.
I gave his little credits, but
his little credits. It took like 15 minutes to get through them.
He's been nominated for 13 Emmy Awards. He won for The West Wing. He's had 26 BMI Awards. But what I didn't know is that he was a rock star in the 70s, opened for Emerson, Lake and Palmer, his band Stray Dog. I was listening to his music today. Oh my God!
Okay.
They likened him to Hendrix. He's like a rock star. Crazy. Anyway, so he's going to be here in 2 weeks, and then in 3 weeks, George Shapiro, our Georgie. Okay, so George Shapiro is the man behind Seinfeld and behind Carl Reiner, and he is the manager. And so
you know him.
And I know him.
Yes.
And yeah, I know George, and George is maybe the cutest man on the planet. And so George is going to give us wisdom about how from behind the scenes, stars are born and continue to thrive. And George behind the American Express deal and all this other stuff that he's done, made happen. So anyway, so it's very exciting times. Yes. And Women Who Write at the end of November, Maggie Wheeler. Chandler, she'll be here with Kathleen Milhoit. They're such great friends, and Kathleen is unbelievable. And I'm forgetting, Michelle Brauman is going to sing, and it's anyway. So lots of good stuff.
Good lineups, not to be missed.
And Miss Yvonne, don't ever miss Miss Yvonne on anything that she's ever on. And Christina, thank you so much for being back there.
Oh my God!
And to all of you, we'll see you next Wednesday on Game Changers. See you then.